Welcome back, everyone. In today's video, we're going to tackle one of the most persistent questions that parents have. Should you pay your kids for chores? It seems every parent has an opinion on this, but it is genuinely unresolved for most parents. And because every parent instinctively knows that the stakes are higher than the question sounds, I've put my thoughts down and I'm sharing them here. I've been asked this question more times than I can count, by parents and by other teachers, at conferences, even in comment sections. And I always give the same answer, which is, it depends. But not in the vague, non-committal way that it depends usually means. It depends in a very specific and important way. And once I explain what it depends on, most parents immediately know which category they're in. But before I go on, this video is for parents that want to give their kids a jump start on their financial future and teaching that lasts even when they're all grown up. In 8 years of classroom economics, I've watched more than 500 students develop relationships with earning and spending and saving. The insights from that classroom and raising my own boys are what I'm drawing on today. And I want to give you the most honest, evidence-based answer to this question that I possibly can. So, should you pay your kids for chores? Well, here's what I know. It depends. But there's good reason why I say that. First, we need to separate two things that most conversations about chores and money conflate: household responsibility and financial education. Household responsibility is the contribution that a child makes to the family simply by being a member of it. Picking up in their room, loading the dishes, taking out the bins. These are not tasks you pay for any more than you would pay your partner for cooking dinner or your parents for raising you. They are the minimum requirement of shared living. And treating them as paid labor sends a message that is, at best, confusing, and at worst, damaging, because it implies that the child's cooperation and contribution with family functioning is optional and has a price. Financial education is different. Financial education is the deliberate, structured process of teaching a child how money works, how it's earned, how it's allocated, how it grows, and what values it reflects. Pocket money, the kind of unconditional regular income that we discussed last week, is the vehicle for financial education. Chores are the vehicle for responsibility and belonging. These are different things, and they should have different structures. So household responsibility, it's not optional, and it's not priced. There's a danger in paying for chores. Here's what happens. Consistently, observably across many families, when you tie pocket money to chores, the child starts to see every domestic task as a transaction. The bin doesn't need to be emptied. It's a choice, and the choice comes with a price tag. When the child decides that they don't need the money that week, or perhaps they have savings already, or perhaps the task just feels too hard, they simply opt out. Now the parent, you, is then left in an impossible position: enforce an unpaid obligation or renegotiate the terms. Either way, the relationship between responsibility and membership in the family has been made negotiable. And once a responsibility is negotiable, it's no longer a responsibility. I've watched this play out in classroom contexts. The moment a behavior becomes optional if you don't need the reward, you lose the behavior in children who are already comfortable. The children who disengage are almost always the ones with existing advantages, the ones who least need the lesson. So what does work? The model I've watched produce the most consistent results is this: unconditional, regular income, the financial education instrument, alongside a separate, optional earning structure for above and beyond tasks. Here's what that looks like in practice. Pocket money arrives every week, unconditionally, tied to nothing except the calendar. The 3-jar split applies. The jars do their work. That is the financial education piece. Separately, there's an opt-in menu of additional tasks. Not household basics. Those stay unconditional. But genuinely additional tasks like washing the car, or cleaning the oven, or weeding the garden, washing the windows, helping with a project. Tasks that the family would realistically pay a stranger to do. These are offered at a transparent, fair rate, and the child can choose to take them or leave them. So the difference is structural and it's crucial. The child now has 2 separate experiences of money. Income that models the salary structure, regular, reliable, unconditional, and earnings that model entrepreneurship, effort-based, optional, negotiated. Both are valuable. Neither contaminates the other. In classroom terms, this mirrors the economy I ran. Students had a base income from their employment in the classroom, and they could pursue additional business income on top of it. The distinction between base income and earned income was one of the most important financial concepts we ever taught. And we never had to explain it in a lesson because the structure made it obvious. So there's income that models a salary, earnings that model entrepreneurship. Do them both, and then neither one contaminates the other. So, should you pay your kids for chores? Well, the honest answer is no, but only if chores means basic contributions they make as family members. Those should be expectations, not transactions. When is it yes? Only if chores means above and beyond, optional, adult level tasks that genuinely earn a market rate. Those are a different thing entirely. The question parents are really asking is usually, how do I connect money to effort in a way that teaches my child something real? The answer to that question is build 2 separate structures. Unconditional income for financial education, optional earning opportunities for entrepreneurship and work ethic. But don't mix them. Keep them distinct, and then be consistent. The families I've watched struggle most with the chores question are the families who use money as a behavior management tool, withholding it when the child misbehaves, doubling it when they need cooperation. That approach turns money into something it isn't, a lever for control. Money should not be a behavior management tool. It is a financial education instrument. The moment you use it for control, you've lost the financial education. I really enjoyed putting this video together for you, and I'd love to know where your family lands on this question. Have you been paying for chores? And if so, will this video change how you do it from now on? Or have you been giving a regular allowance and you're thinking now about the second distinction of rewarding entrepreneurship? Leave your answer below, or come and join us in the Facebook community. I'm collecting real data from real families for an upcoming video, and the answers here genuinely shape what I make next. The link is in the description below. Until next time, see you!